Okay. Good evening once again.
Good evening.
Um, Today, we will discuss about tables, how we
Okay.
can create tables in HTML. So before
All
that,
right.
um, we would like to do a recap on what we did the last time.
Okay.
So last time, we talked about images, audio, and then videos. So at the end of that discussion, we came across that we can create an image by using the img tag. Then we will use the source as the src to locate where our image is. Then we can
Okay.
use the alt in case our image did not display. What is the information that you want to display on the browser? And we also came across audios that HTML5 came along with the audio tag. So we can use audio tag with controls, and we can even add autoplay, then loop to it.
Oh,
Then inside our audio tag, you specify the source. So source, then SRC to navigate where our audio is. Then you give it a type, which is audio. Then slide the file extension, that's maybe MP3. Then we will
okay.
close it like this. And also, we can add information to display when our browser does not support the audio tag. So we can say that this browser does not support maybe audio tag like this. So and we came across that video to adding video to our HTML is similar to the audio. Just that you use instead of the audio, you use the video tag. Then the same as audio, we can give it controls, autoplay, then loop for it to loop several times. Then
Oh,
we will close it with a closing tag, like this. Then you specify the source, then the SRC, which we use to navigate where the video file is. Then we will give it a
okay.
type of video, then the file extension of the video, maybe MP4, like this. So we'll quickly move to today's section. That's the tables, how we can create
Wait.
tables.
Okay.
Okay, so let me create a new HTML file. So new, then I'll save it. Save, then okay. So tables, table.html, then save. So I'll begin with the basic structure of an HTML. So HTML. So I have the basic structure, and I'll give it the title of table. So let's move. Okay. So in creating tables, we have a table tag. We use a table tag. So like this table. Then we have the closing tag like this.
Okay.
So inside this table, we will create our rows and columns. So in HTML, let's look at something like this. When creating a table, I don't know if I have print. I want to demonstrate something.
Okay.
Okay, I think I have some. Okay, so let me maximize it. And let me try to. I don't know if I can increase the size like this. So you see that in creating tables, we have columns and rows. So something
Yeah.
like this. So these are the columns. These are the columns like this. Then we have the rows like this.
Okay.
So maybe we may have the head. So maybe this will be the head, information at the header. So, and then you input the information at this place like this. So in creating an HTML table, we can't move in the column form. We always create table using the row. We move like this in the row form
Okay.
when creating a table in HTML. So we have some attributes like we have some tag which can be used inside the table tag. So we can have T head which represent table head. So let's move to our code. So we can specify that this part of our HTML is the table head. So T head like this with the closing. Then we can have another one like the T body, specifying the table body. Then we have the T footer, the T foot, which represent table footer.
Okay.
Okay. So whenever we specify a row to be a header, it will always be at the top, and a table footer will always be at the bottom of the table. No matter where you place it inside the table, it will always be at the bottom. So,
Okay.
as I already said, in creating a table, we move in the row direction. So you create a tag called the table row, TR. So table
Okay.
row represents the whole row like this. So we have 1, 2, 3. So this is the table row.
Okay.
So it comes with the opening tag, then the closing tag. So inside this table row, that will create our row. So we have our row like this. So we want to specify a section part of the row like this part of the table. We want only this part of the table. So this is called table definition. So these single ones are called the table definition, and the whole
Okay.
of this is a table row. So table definition, we use the TD to represent table definition. So the table definition is the single box that we have here, a single box, the boxes. So if we want to create a row which contains about three like this, we have to create table definition, three different kind of table definition. So let's move to our code and So let's first create our header. We want a header for our table. So we have another tag which is called a TH, representing table head. We want to create a header. So let's move to our post. So we want to insert the table head here. So first, I'll create my table row like this. Then this is the closing tag. In between this table row, I'll create my table head, that's the TH, like this. So I can say name, this one to be the name. Then I'll create another one, TH, with the closing. Then I'll say maybe age. Then the last one, TH, and then maybe class, like this. So with this, I've created a table head. So the table head, because of this, it comes with some certain properties. So the information inside this will be bold and also centered. So let me save it, then I'll try to open it in the browser for us to see how it
Okay.
is. So open in the browser. So this is it. Let me increase my browser. So we have three rows. That's the name, age, then class. So this is the header. So now let's create information under our table class. So we are done with the table head. So now let's move to the table body. So in the table body, you will create first a table row. So table row TR. TR. Then I'll close it. So in between the table row, I'll create a table definition. So a table definition, the first, as the table head moves. So the first one will be the name, the second one will be the age, then the third one will be the class. So the name, I will choose John for the name. Then the age, TD, and the age, I will choose maybe, oh, sorry, I'll choose maybe 12 years for the TD. Then class, I will choose maybe class 2. Oh, sorry, TD. And I'll choose maybe class 2 for the class. So I've created one row. So I'll save it, move to my browser, refresh. So we have it like this. I have the name to be John, age 12,
Okay.
then class 2. So maybe I want this information several times. So I'll create about 3 rows. So this is my first row. As I did this, I'll do the same to TR to define this time a new row.
Okay.
So inside this, I'll create another table definition. Then inside this time around, maybe Mensa, then age, the age to be maybe 11. Me too is in the same class, so maybe class 2 as well. So for the second row, I've created for the second row. So let me copy the first one. I'll try to copy the first one. Then I'll paste it for the third time. Then I'll copy the second one. Then, so you do that for the number of rows that you want. So I'll save it and move to my browser. Refresh. So I have name to be John, age to like this. Let me change some few information in the age. And so this one to be 16, then class 6, and this one to be 14, and maybe class 3, so, and this. So we may have some changes inside this. So now we will try to apply some style in our work
Okay.
so that it will look more beautiful. Okay, so now we've not tackled CSS, but we use some of our basic style to do our CSS. So when we enter or when we try to learn our CSS, then we try to style it in our head. So now, as we know already, we use the style attribute, like this. Then we will give it a property. So maybe I'll choose a width, and I'll give it something like 70%, like this.
Okay.
So I'll save it and move to our browser. You can see we've increased the width of our table.
Okay.
Okay, now we want a grid of lines to show so that we can see the division. So we can move to the style, then add a table border. So we use the border, then we will give it maybe something like, I want us to see it clear, so 2 pixels, then solid, then I'll give it a color, so maybe black, like this. So I'll have a black line around the table, like this. So this is the table. So
Okay.
we have a line around it. If we have learned the CSS, we could have done it much more better. Because in this style, if you want to style it very well, you may end up writing a lot of codes, which it will be done in a simple way. So I want to center it. So I'll use margin, then I'll set to auto. I want to center the table. So we have a table. We can even give it a background color. Can give it a background color. Oh, sorry. So I can give a background color. So I can choose something like green. Then you can give it a text color of maybe white. But sometimes, if you want to see the effect, you have to choose the tag that is closer to the text. So it can happen that the white color that we gave it won't work. But this time around it worked. So this is how we can create a table using HTML. So when we learn CSS, we learn how to style this table very well.
Okay.
Please, is there any question?
Yeah, I'm not through with. So how are you going to know the colors? Like
The colors. Okay. In colors in HTML or CSS, let me say that way. We have different types of colors. We can give colors using their normal names, like the red, yellow, and the red that we know.
okay.
And we can also use the HSL. That's the hue, saturation, and light. That's
Okay.
the HSL type there. Um, I forgot how we form. Is we use three information. So the first one for the hue, then second one for the saturation, then the third one for the light, like this.
Okay.
Then so we use figures. So we can use um 200 like this. Then so let's try to see something if I can do. So let's try to change it using this one. So HSL like this. So the hue, saturation, and light. Then I want maybe 100 hue. Then I don't know how it is formed, but I'm not so much expecting the hue, saturation, and light. So I'll try to enter some piece of information to see the outcome. I don't really know the
Okay.
outcome, so I'll save it and refresh my browser. So it's something of a white. I don't know if it was correct. You can say save. Okay, it's something like that. And we have the RGB. We have the RGB, which is the red, green, and blue, the combination of the primary
Okay.
colors. So that's for that one.
Okay.
RGB. So we may have maybe 200 red. We can have zero blue and zero green. Then we can have maybe 20 of blue like this. So you see, we have something like a red because it contains more of red. So you see
Okay.
200 red. So assuming I take this one to make something like 100, then 150, then 20, 150, then maybe 20. We have more of blue. So more of blue and more of red.
Okay.
So we may have something like this, like green like thing. So it's the combination of the
Yeah.
primary colors. And we have RGBA, A like this. So the A represents transparency. So red, green, blue, then transparency. So if you want to give a transparent color, so you just add to it to the transparency that you want. So 0.9. I'll save, then reload. So let me try to change the background of the body so that we can see, you see the background color of the body through this green like background. So
Okay.
let me, the same style, then background. So let me give something of a red. Okay. So I think I have a deep. So let me try to reduce this to maybe 2. So the 2 is very transparent. So we can't even see the color. Well,
Okay.
so but hope you can see the color effects. So this one is
Yeah.
different from. Let me
Yes.
take out the body. See. So this is the color. So very transparent. So you
Yeah.
can increase it to make it opaque. And so we have the RGB, hue, saturation, and light. Then we have the hexadecimal colors. So the hexadecimal colors, we begin with the hash sign, follow with either three colors like this. So the FFF stand for white. So it ranges from 0, 1, 2, 3 up to 9. Then from 9 we have A up to F. Those are the characters that we can use. Please hope you understand.
Yes, please.
So um, let's try to. So this time around, instead of RGB, let me change it and use the hexadecimal color. So begins with the pound sign, that's the hash, then FFF. So this time around it's a white color, and then 000 to be full black. So this one is the red, green, and then blue. Please hope you get me.
Yes, please.
So you can manipulate these figures. So I can give this one a red of 8, then this of F, then or let me try to 0. Let's begin with 000 for a start. Save it. Move to my browser. So I have a full black color like this.
Yeah.
So let me try to manipulate one, and let me change this one to F. I will save it. Reload. So we have full red color. So you can manipulate with this information. So I can choose to have full red, then full green like this. Full red and full green to form a yellow background.
Okay.
Then I can maybe decide to use full green then full blue to create another color. So how you have to manipulate this, or you use their name straight away, like the red, yellow, then green. So this is
Okay.
how we
Okay.
can choose a way to apply colors in HTML or CSS. Start. Please hope that is all. Or any more questions?
No, please. That's cool.
Okay. I think I have a new member who have joined just now. He's not new, alright,
No.
but he just came.
Okay.
His mic is mute, so I don't know if I think I'll try to upload the video. He can watch, then try to get the understanding of what we did today.
Okay.
Mr. Ken, hope that is fine by you.
Yes, I'm okay with that.
Okay, then thank you for today, for joining me today. We'll meet tomorrow by God willing. Then we'll try to discuss maybe list, how we can create list. So I'll post this video on our YouTube platform. Then I'll send you the link. So thank you.
Okay. I'll come.